Okay, so we're going to speak about pin bars because pin bars are one of our awesome reversal indicators in the market, all right? And so as you see here, these two examples that I have here, where you see where the market pushed upward here, and then that's where buyers had control, and then the sellers took control and pushed it all the way back down, all right? And so in this one, you actually see where the market pushed all the way down here, sellers had control, and then the buyers pushed it all the way up here. And so indicating a reversal in the market, and then that the buyers took control. So what we're going to do is show these examples on the chart so that you can see areas of strong rejection in the market, all right? So you can utilize this as you trade. Hey, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, and thumbs up. And we give you a bunch of love. Yeah, let us help more people in the markets. All right, so here we are on the New Zealand USD, and we actually have this awesome chart here, which actually gives us a beautiful M pattern here as well, which is really wonderful because you do see the pin bars in this area. So let's notate the actual chart pattern, right? And so we have that M pattern. And then also in an area of resistance, previous area of resistance, as you see here, line is drawn. We have that pin bar that occurs here in this area of resistance, pushing the market downward here. And then we also, when we got down here to support, we have a beautiful pin bar there as well, which is wonderful. So we have pin bar up in this area and also down here too. And that was actually in areas of support and resistance, which is a wonderful, perfect example for you to actually look at, and the market did push upward from that. All right, and so one of the things, again, just to note, is that looking at the areas of support and resistance, and what are our other confluences. All right, and so you can look at the other areas of confluences here. So as we see here, this is a harami, this actual candle here. That is a harami candlestick pattern, which is wonderful. All right, so you did have that. That's number one. Number two, it is in the area of resistance. Yes, and then you also have that M pattern. All right, so you had three confluences there. And with those three confluences, it helps you have a higher probability of an awesome trade as well. And so once that did push down, you went down here. And you do end up having a doji down here as well, which actually shows that the trend did change on you, which is really wonderful because you had the pin bar at an area of support in this area. Then you had the doji, and then the market did push upward, all right, which is wonderful. All right, so those are just really areas of rejection is what the pin bar shows you. But you can utilize this especially in areas of support and resistance in your demand and supply zones, which is wonderful. Yeah, so let's look at another example. All right, and so I have another example here, which is really wonderful. We're still in the daily chart here. And so with this particular pattern here, we still have an M pattern here, which is wonderful. And so it seems to be popular right now as the M pattern. But the one thing about this in the areas of support and resistance, as you see here, this is an area of resistance here, and then previous area of resistance. And so in this area here, we do see that pin bar right there, and then we do have a push downward here towards the support line here. And even in this area here, you do have that pin bar, and the market actually does reverse. So we had a strong push downward on here, and then it had that pin bar and a bullish push upward. All right, and so we do have that there as well. All right, which is really wonderful. And so those pin bars, again, and looking at this again, you do have this area here for. So we have the bearish engulfing candle up in this area here, and down here we have the bullish engulfing candle as well, okay? And so, which is really wonderful. And other things that you can actually utilize are for your support and resistance, and also your candlestick patterns. You can also look at your moving averages as well, which is really wonderful. So you can add those as an additional confluence for your profitability to be higher. We want to make sure when we get in a trade that it actually works for us and not against us. So we want to maximize our profits and minimize our losses, most definitely. All right, and so I hope just looking at these examples that we have here on today will be an assistance to you as well, so that when you are in a trade, there are things that you will be able to write down, remember, place on the wall before you or on your desktop before you, and take note of those things so that you can say, hey, I need to look at this, and I need to look at this, I need to look at this when I'm trading, so I can make sure that I have a high probability trade and that you aren't missing out on anything at all right? And so, which is really wonderful. And then you can always go back to your notes and say, hey, this is what works for me and this is what doesn't. So, which is really wonderful. All right. So I hope this was an excellent exercise for you on today. And so let's do some homework.
Yeah. Luna. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.